Greetings my friends, I hope this week finds you in fine fettle, ha ha ha. I'm actually in a pretty good mood this week if you couldn't already tell, because it's just over a week until those pub doors are finally once again thrown open and Britain can once again indulge in its most beloved pastime, getting unbelievably and irresponsibly faced. Not that we haven't been doing that for the past 3 months anyway, it's just going to be really nice to throw up all over somebody else's furniture for a change. And if you happen to have noticed it, please do excuse the slightly glazed, dead behind the eyes look that I'm adopting this week. It's not the vodka token, it's just been a long ass week. Lots of tech launches, lots of stuff to talk about, so let's just smash on. Fee for fingle, I smell a jingle. Tech Spurt Weekly. So this week's shiny shenanigans kicked off with that Tim Cook fella once again banging on about how absolutely awesome Apple is. Only this time there wasn't a hand-selected audience of Kool-Aid chuggers cheering wildly every time he so much as casually broke wind in his usual smug, self-satisfied way. Over the course of roughly 12 to 13 hours, TC launched a whole bunch of new Apple shenanigans, including of course a good bit of iOS 14 action. This latest iPhone UI boasts a whole host of innovative features like customizable widgets, the ability to search for specific apps, and light versions of apps that you don't actually install. They're kind of unique and wonderful things we've definitely not seen anywhere else at all ever before. Not once. Apple exclusives this year's, definitely. And if you want to go hands-on with iOS 14 early, get a taste of some of those new features, then no worries. All you've got to do is dig out that old Android phone that's shoved away in the back of a drawer somewhere, dust it off, and there you go. After all that fun and joy, Timmy Seabohm had just enough time to launch a fresh version of WatchOS. The big new feature here is the hand washing monitor, which scolds you like an overbearing parent if you don't sing the entirety of Happy Birthday twice over. Oi, dickhead, that wasn't 20 seconds. There was a whole bunch of other stuff too, but to be perfectly honest, I didn't watch a single second of it. I just sat in the sun and watched anime instead. That's right, I'm just a big fat charlatan. I don't actually have opinions or thoughts. All I do is just get all this shit off other tech blogs. On Tuesday, it was then Acer's turn to launch more gear, including some updated versions of the Triton 300 and Helios 300 gaming laptops. And these come packing the latest Intel Core 10th Gen H series chipsets and up to an RTX 2070 GPU, all for a cost starting from just over $1,000. I've done a full hands-on with these bad boys, which unfortunately did not involve any actual gaming, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm hoping to get them in soon for full review, so go check out my hands-on for more of those specs and sexy details, and stay tuned for my in-depth thoughts. And we've had quite a few other launches and tech releases this week, including the snazzy TicWatch C2 Plus, which is still solid value for money, if not much of an evolution at all. You haven't got the latest Snapdragon Wear in there or anything, but you can see my full review of that bad boy right here on the channel now too. And I even cancelled my lockdown session with your mum to spend a lot more time with the gorgeous Sony Xperia 1 Mark II as well. And now my full tips and tricks guide and camera review have joined the unboxing from last week, and my full in-depth review of the rest of the phone should hopefully be going live in a day or two. And all of that, my good chums, is why I'm a wee bit knackered come the end of the week, but don't worry, I'm going to go off and have a nice lie down and feel all rejuvenated, ready for next week, so I'll tell your mum I'll be round then. And now it's time for the part of the show that, insert crap joke here, sorry I couldn't be bothered to think of anything this week, it's viewer comments. Woo woo! Viewer comments. Aww. So last week's show was, of course, me just wibbling on about the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II in a slightly more live fashion than usual. So once again, unsurprisingly proved quite a popular topic in the comments. It's a bit of a sob story to begin with. Jamie says, just received my Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, but within 30 minutes of it being on, the screen began to rapidly flicker. Really annoying and hurts my eyes, cancelling my upgrade. For a £1,200 phone, I expected better. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a dodgy unit. I've had no such flickering issues with this bad boy at all, so touch wood you managed to get a replacement. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be interested to see what you decided to go with in the end. And next up, Bill says, this phone will be $1,900 in Australia. Who's got $2,000 in their pocket right now for this thing? Phones with decent hardware and cameras are getting just too damn expensive. Now yeah, flagships are still crazy expensive these days. Obviously the Samsungs, the Apples, they're all exactly the same. The good news is you can get a good, dependable phone with solid performance and strong camera tech for a lot less money these days. I mean, if you are on a really strict budget, even 300 quid, the likes of the Redmi Note 9 Pro, really solid tech. Realme 6 Pro as well, great stuff. If you can afford to pay a little bit more, you got the likes of the Oppo Find X2 Lite, the OnePlus Nord coming out soon should hopefully have strong performance, but also that solid camera tech too. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Might even get a bit of Pixel 4a action at some point. Pablo says, good phone, but don't know for how long I will keep the Sony smartwatch 3. Can you check if Sony will release a smartwatch 4? That's a bit of a blast from the past. Again, I actually came up in the live show last week, the Sony smartwatch. And you know what, I would love a new watch from those boys. If they could do, you know, something to really rival the Apple Watch, maybe sex up the design quite a lot, make it super premium, a gorgeous OLED screen, probably not 21:9 though, because then it would be like the size of your arm or something. But sadly, I think we've probably seen our last ever Sony branded wearable, just like we'll probably never see another Xperia tablet, another Vio laptop. Of course, I used to love those classic Z series back in the day. Yeah, no, it's a shame. I think they're streamlining, and that's obviously a good strategy for them, and hopefully it will work out. Next up, Werty Werterson, great name. At work, my colleagues often ask customers if they have an iPhone or a Samsung when they try and help them with our app. It kills me every time. Yeah, that is basically the state of it. I mean, that is what an insane marketing budget will buy you. But I can honestly see it changing quite a lot over the next few years, especially as basically the economy has gone straight down the toilet. See a lot of people swapping to the more budgety stuff, and the likes of Oppo are coming up strong with a strong marketing budget of their own. I think they basically sponsored pretty much every sporting event last year. I think they did like Wimbledon, was it like the FA Cup or something like that? They sponsored some kind of footballing thing, F1, I think, maybe even cricket. Now, you know, that's all it takes. As soon as other manufacturers get their name out there, get themselves in, you know, peak position in all of the online stores as well as the high street, then, you know, I can definitely see things changing for the better. Next up, Ostad says, I have a suggestion, please use the default wallpaper of the phones and do not change it, please. Yeah, I think he's quite desperate for me to use the default stuff there. Lee has actually responded to him, lol, half the reason why I watch him is because of his choice of wallpaper. My papers do indeed bring all of the boys to the yard. Apart from Ostad, of course, he's made that abundantly clear. But yes, in my unboxing videos in the future, I promise I'll try and remember to use the sort of default backgrounds for a little bit, maybe try out some of the other wallpapers before I switch then to the uber geeky anime efforts. Cam says, hi, I wish you could give me a phone, any phone, because my phone is broken. I wish I had a phone to give you, Cam. Unfortunately, a lot of the phones that I review on the channel, in fact pretty much all of them, are loan samples. I don't just have a massive Scrooge McDuck style vat of cash that I dive into and then use that to buy smartphones to review. But sorry to hear about your busted mobile, and if you do want recommendations of great budget smartphones to buy instead, well, I've got great budget phone roundups right here on TechSpurt, so go check those out. And then last up for this week, MJ says, I've got a crush on you, hi. Hi MJ, I'm sure there's a good psychiatrist out there who can sort you out, give you a good bit of help, but I'm very flattered, thank you very much. It's nice to end on a positive note like that. So last up, what have we got coming up next week? Well, I've got a briefing on Monday that I can't actually tell you about because it's all under embargo, but hopefully I'll be able to give you that news later in the week. And that actually looks like about it for next week. Compared with this week, it's a lot more light. You never know, Google might spring that Pixel announcement on us all of a sudden. Fingers crossed, can only hope. But fear you not, there'll be lots of more videos being smashed out here on TechSpurt. Once I've finished with the Xperia 1 Mark II, I will be going down to its cheaper sibling, the Xperia 10 Mark II. Just 320 quid, and yet it boasts a lot of the premium features packed inside this flagship for that significantly cheaper cost. Still got the 21:9 finish, gorgeous OLED screen, you get a water-resistant design as well, so it's still nice and rugged and everything. Hopefully that triple lens camera will still prove to be a worthy alternative to the likes of the Pixel 3a. And I'm also reviewing the Realme Band and more True Wireless earbuds. Oh my god, I'm drowning in True Wireless earbuds. There are so many. So yes, I'm off to drink myself into oblivion and then sleep for 48 hours, and then, as I say, next week, lots more stuff. So please do smash your comments down below. Thank you to everyone who joined me last week for the live show, especially those who just threw a little bit of cash in as well. That was really appreciated, all for a very good cause indeed. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do plug subscribe, ding that notifications bell, yada. So I've just got that ingrained in my brain now, so it's like an automatic reaction. As soon as I'm ending the video, blah. So yeah, have a good one, everyone. Love you.